Hello, hello. Welcome to Deeper Roots and Truths. And today I'm bringing more healing messages. Today's message, I wanted to talk about what they wouldn't do, you were willing to do. So, what they wouldn't do, you did. And this message came to mind. I need to remember to put lotion on because I'm always a person that use my hands. I use my hands to do a lot of things, and lotion be the first thing on my mind. I don't give a dang about that. It takes 2 seconds to put on some lotion. So some people say, well, why not put the lotion on? It takes 2 seconds. And I look at it like it ain't that big of a deal because it only takes 2 seconds. But I'm gonna go ahead and put some on right now because I remembered. But this message came to mind because it's so many people that I have encountered where they're trying to figure out what's so good about you. They trying to figure out, why can't they have the same blessings that you got? Why aren't they, where you are? Or, why don't people look at them the way they look at you? Or what's so special about you? What's so good about you? So, sometimes I've overheard people say these things. Sometimes you can read their mind and know that they on some bull, they thinking this way. Sometimes it comes from a place of envy. Sometimes it comes from a place of jealousy. Sometimes it comes from a place of they just want to know what's so good about you. So even when I'm encountering the opposite sex and, they, try to holler at me or whatever, and, women will be like, well, what's so good about you? Why they want you? It ain't even about your body parts. It can be solely based on your energy, your essence. When you walk in a room, how you make people feel, your conversation, in the warmth that you may make people feel like they can trust you. So it's all different types of things about yourself that may have people you may have people that are drawn to you. You are like a magnet. And I know I've had this experience. So, I decided to do this message because it's like, let me put a little things out here of why, people get to where they are and why others are just wondering. Y'all left wondering why the other people are already doing what they need to do. So, again, what they wouldn't do, you would, what they're not willing to do, you will. So one of the things I want to talk about is during this process of me trying to find myself and you trying to find yourself, you may have came to a place of where you was like, you just finally accepted. I don't know everything. I done lived on this earth for X amount of years. I done had these amount of experiences, but I don't know everything. And what I thought I knew, I didn't really know, or I knew it, but only to a certain extent. You realize that there's so many things that you need to learn and deeper meaning to different things, and it's so much more to grow and learn in life. You realize that you come to a point where you realize that you have to accept it, that you don't know everything. And like an example for me, I'm a person that I consider myself intelligent. So, I was at a place where I was like, well, I know certain things, or I know this, or I'm skilled at this and that. But going through this process of finding who I am, going through the process of finding who God is and who God is in your life, you will realize that you was lost like a mug, you know what I'm saying? And you accepted that you was lost. And that was one way that it started your self journey, your self-healing journey, your self actualization of, I don't know everything. I still got a lot of learning to do. I need God, to show me different things, to open me up to different things so that I can get more knowledge, And so that was one thing about me, is like I had to admit that I was lost. And, you can't be found unless you're lost. So, yeah, you have to admit that to yourself. And a lot of people ain't gonna admit that. They're gonna keep acting like they know everything, or whatever the case may be. It started with you, realizing that and admitting it to yourself. During this process, you might have encountered a lot of people that was ugly, treated you ugly. You read their minds. They thought you was basic. They might have thought you was basic. You was beneath them. Your knowledge wasn't up to par, or they might be, since they encounter more people, they may know more, or they may have went and visited and traveled different places and they knew more than you. That's cool. Whatever the case may be, for them trying to treat you beneath them. But the thing about it is even though you saw, you felt, you heard how people were trying to treat you, you didn't bring that same type of energy back to them. You actually treated them fairly. You treated them better than they treated themselves. Better than the energy that they was giving to you, because you knew in your mind that they was coming from a real broken, hurt place, and you could understand on a certain level of where they were. So, because you've endured that place too, where you've been on a lower level. And you might not have went around and hurt people intentionally, but you actually can resonate with those people. So instead of bringing them the same type of energy, you decided to take the higher road. So this is some things that people aren't willing to do. They're going to be like, shoot, I'm going to snap off if they going to snap off on me. If they going to be ready to fight, I'm ready to fight. This is and that. And it's like, I'm not going to fight ugly with ugly, So you made that in your mind that you didn't want to bring that same type of, you have to go so low if you want to even get into that energy to even bring that same type of energy back to them. You kept getting knocked down, but you got back up. So it's some people that get knocked down and they quit. They tap out. 1, 2, 3, the fight's over. Ding, 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 ding. Nah, ain't no ding, 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 ding. Because if you didn't kill me, is what you was telling people. If they didn't kill you, then you getting back up. Period. That's in your mind. Quitting was never an option. Just staying down because you got knocked down was never an option. So this is things that other people aren't willing to do. They will sometimes get knocked down and stay down. Ain't no, in your mind, that never was an option. Giving up on yourself. Never. So these are some things and some mindsets that you had to have that other people might not have had. And they wondering why you are where you are, who you are, because I'm willing to do, I'm willing to think, I'm willing to speak, I'm willing to say things that others won't say. You had to heal your inner child. You had to look in like, what in me that is hurting right now that I can fix, that I can help myself, that I can grow, that I can learn. So you actually went to that child, that little you, and you reparented yourself. Instead of going out calling for mommy and daddy, like I was telling you guys in previous videos, I myself started the journey where it put me on the track to another deeper part of my journey where I asked my dad to be a father to me, and he laughed in my face and told me no, he didn't want to be my father. So, hearing that from somebody and then having them laugh, basically, oh, tease you, oh, you want a father, you're crying. He teased me, basically. That put me on the journey of being real with myself. Like, man, you always been more mature than your parents. And they haven't been there for you the way you needed them to be. Go ahead and be that way to yourself. Reparent yourself so that you can heal yourself and that you don't walk around broken and hurt. So that's something that you're willing to do that others won't do. You didn't judge others. You had the chance to judge people, see how they are, see how they living, see what they got, see how all the stuff that they judged you about. You could have judged them the same way that they judged you, but you chose not to. You chose to actually get to know people, actually try to see their side of it. You might have heard even bad things about these people. And instead of going by what others said, you went to see it and hear it from the horse's mouth. You let people tell on themselves. If they had ugliness in them, you would be able to spot that on your own. So you didn't go by what other people said about them. You didn't join in on the conversations where people was joning and talking down to other people and stuff like that. You tried to see it from all perspectives. So that's something that others aren't willing to do. And they trying to figure out why you are the way you are. That's one reason why. During this process, when I discovered that people just kept playing with me, kept testing me, in my mind, I'm thinking like, you don't know who you're messing with. So you might have went around and you was warning people like, I'm not to be played with. There's going to be great karma that comes from messing with me. Because I'm not that type of person and I'm not going around bothering nobody. And I know with myself, I warned some big wigs in my family, some people that people have been looking up to for years. I warned them like, I'm not to be messed with. I went around warning friends, I'm not to be messed with. I'm not the one. So, you might have done that. They not going to warn people. They just going to go around and try to pretend like they this way and then switch up on people. They're wearing their masks. So that's some things that people might not do because they don't want people to know who they are, versus you got to the point where it was like, you know what, y'all coming against me anyway, forget it. I am that one. I am Neo. I am the one. Don't mess with me, and they still tested you. They still tried you. So, now look at them. They trying to figure out what, when they karma's coming back, how it's coming back, who it's going to be, when it's going to, why, blah, blah, blah. Hey, let them figure that out on their own. You chose peace over drama. So it's plenty of times you could have jumped into stuff. You could have, ganged up on people. You could have anything. You wanted peace over everything. And people aren't going to choose peace. People might have grew up in an environment where they ain't seen nothing but fighting, arguing, chaos, this is that. I know myself, I have too. And you got to the place where it's like, if peace is boring, then I want to be bored. But I found that peace ain't boring. I'm never bored. I can always find a million things to do. But, people was calling that, you might be around a situation, a culture. You might have been raised where peace just looks like you just bored. And it's like, no, peace has been one of the best things that has happened in your life. So, yes. You chose to move backwards in some situations to close chapters. So I know sometimes we decide to go back to a situation, back to a job, back to a living space, back to people. And you might not have known initially why you went back to these people, places, or things. But it came to a point in time where the Most High started showing you where you had to close these chapters. You might have been leaving open doors for certain people. You might have had a place in your heart for certain people, situation, things, jobs. And by you going backwards, you were able to close them up. You were able to sit with yourself like, okay, I know why we're not friends no more, or I outgrew this situation, or I outgrew this thing, or I see why I shouldn't have came back, or blah blah blah. So you were able to close chapters and be at peace and be happy with yourself and your decisions this time, because maybe the first time you might have made the decision and you might not have known why, and maybe God was like, okay, I'll show you, I'll show you why I had you walk away from this. I'll show you why this door was closed. I'll show you why. So you even by you even trusting God, God did allow you to see, why the decision was made in certain situations. You decided to bet on yourself. So, there's times where people don't bet on themselves. They'll invest in all these other people, everything, people, places, things, bet on games, who gonna win, this and that, instead of betting on themselves. They bet on everything else outside of themselves instead of themselves. So you chose to bet on yourself. I know what I'm capable of. I know where I want to go. And I'm going to bet on myself that I'm going to win. I'm going to get there. So you decided to bet on yourself. That's something that other people might not want to do or might not feel comfortable doing. You didn't rush the process. So, even though there might have been times where you felt like, man, I feel like I'm stagnant, or, when is this healing going to be? When am I going to get healed? This pain, it hurts, this and that. Instead of this time trying to rush it or trying to figure out when, where, why, you just went through the process. You went through the 5 stages of grievance. You just was patient with it. You knew that God wasn't going to allow you to be hurt forever. You knew that, there might have been pain at night, but joy comes in the morning. So you actually allowed transformation to happen in your life so that you can go from, being a caterpillar to the actual butterfly. You accepted the calling. So the Most High calls a lot of people, but you decided to actually answer the phone. The Most High called a lot of people, but you actually picked up the phone and you answered the call. So, that's something that you did that other people aren't willing to do, and then they're trying to figure out why. What's so special about you? I'm telling you why. And I'm telling you why people feel that way about you. Why they feel like, why you get this spot? Why are you who you are? Well, because you made different choices. There's certain choices that you made for yourself is the reason why you're in the position that you're in. You could have been in a position with them. You could have actually related to them, been on their level. You decided to elevate yourself and grow. You had identified your flaws, and not only did you see what the heck is wrong with you, you worked on them. You worked on healing them. You worked on growing through them. You accepted the things that some things about you can't change. And you grew through it. So, everybody's not even able to identify the things that, might not be so good about themselves and actually change that. You sacrifice your relationships to heal first. So it's not even that people might feel like, oh, well, they just don't mess with me no more, this and that. And it's like, I want to heal. I want to be the best version of myself so that when I do decide to come back around you, I can be on top of my A game. I don't have to, be wearing masks or, get swapped away with what you got going on, peer pressure, things like that. I want to be the strongest version of myself, the best version of myself, so that I can bring good energy around the people that I decide to share my time with. So you were willing to sacrifice all that so that you could better yourself. And there's people that won't do that. And that's why you're in the position that you're in. You humbled yourself. You knew that your strength, your help, your everything came from the Most High. You had to humble yourself. It wasn't just you that was doing this. It ain't just you that, has your own back. Most High got your back. There's situations that you couldn't see, that the veil was still on, over your eyes and you didn't know where you was going. You trusted the Most High. And for that, that's the reason why you are where you are. You consider different perspectives. So you know that everybody is a different puzzle piece to this big old puzzle called life. And you were able to actually open up and see this person's perspective, this person's perspective, this person's perspective. You knew that the way you thought wasn't the only way. You knew that just because you thought this way, that don't mean that was just the only right way. So by being open to receive energy and information from others, then you were able to see it from their eyes, from their point of view. Put yourself in their shoes. And if you're empathetic, you can do that. You can put yourself in other people's shoes and actually see, what they're thinking. It's just when we take on their energy and then their emotions become ours, and maybe they're not in a good place. That's what messes us up, because we're not supposed to be taking on people's emotional spaces. That's for them to figure out and work through on themselves. You chose love. You chose love and self-love over just getting the monetary gain, just money, because at the same time, that spiritual health is the wealth. You being healthy overall, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, everything, economically, that will bring you the wealth. That's where the wealth is. So you chose that instead of just going by what you can touch, what you can see, And another thing is you stop defending and stop pretending. So it's like you don't have to go around defending yourself, trying to show people who you are, trying to prove a point to them of who you are. They talking down to you. They done started to spread a rumor about you. You let the rumor fly. You let it go. Oh, that's what you think about me? Cool. That's what such and such said about me? Fine. You just let it fly so that you could fly, by even just ignoring some of that stuff and letting it roll off your back. It begins to elevate you, because that stuff can weigh you down by worrying about what people are thinking on this earthly realm. What? I'm trying to fly. I'm not worried about y'all trying to keep me down, crabs in a bucket. So, you let that stuff fly. Instead of exposing people when you was angry, because you could have exposed them like they tried to expose you, instead of exposing their secrets. You let them expose themselves. So you did all this talking, all this trying to thought you was telling my business, all this and that, They exposed themselves when they thought they was trying to tell your business. They exposed themselves when they was lying on you, starting stuff, getting stuff stirred up, stirring the pot about you, going to different groups and telling you was the focus of the conversation. They was laughing. This person, they did this. They failed at this. They did this. You let them expose themselves. People see how they fake, how they couldn't wait to go tell your business, how they was laughing about it when they was telling your business and running your business. You let people see these people for who they really are. And you could have exposed a lot of dirty, low down, disgusting things about them, but you didn't. You kept quiet until you were until the Most High told you to speak. So there's plenty of times where you might have heard people saying stuff about you, or you might have heard things that wasn't true, or you might have wanted to jump in and defend yourself or tell people what your point of view was. God told you not to talk. So what you do, you just listen. You just was the listener. You realized when it was time for you to listen and when it was time for you to speak, and you actually obeyed. You kept an attitude of gratitude. So it don't matter what you was going through. That's the thing, how these people, they send all this negative energy out on you. They think all these negative thoughts about you. They don't want what's best for you. And you still was grateful, no matter what the circumstance and situation is, no matter what people had cooking in their thoughts about you, whatever energy they try to send to you, whatever poverty mindset they wanted you to be in, spells of confusion, fake love, all kind of stuff. You always kept an attitude of gratitude no matter what. You knew that whoever you encounter, wherever you went, whatever job you worked at, you always took the lessons from it. You always looked at the good side of things, even if they might not have been so good. You faced your fears. So instead of running from them, you face your fears. So you know that you ain't got nothing to fear. You don't fear death. You don't fear nothing, because why? Why would you? You're not even supposed to. So instead of running from them, you face them. And that's another thing about running from people. They say it's the scapegoat. Yeah, instead of escaping and running away, you became the goat. Nah, I don't need to run away. Oh, y'all say I'm the black sheep. Y'all using me as a scapegoat, using me as an excuse in your relationship, your marriage, your business. This is why things didn't work out. This, and they blamed you for everything. Instead of running from that stuff, you took it. Took it like a G, took it on the chin, and you became the GOAT for who you are. Keep being the GOAT, the greatest of all times, because, yeah, they wanted you to give up and quit. And they wanted you to run and be scared and be looking over your shoulder and act like you was in fear, or you was in poverty mindset, you was in scarcity mindset, things like that. No, you was like, nah, I'm not going to be running from nobody. If you want me, come and get me. Willing to learn new things. So they say all old dog can't be taught new tricks. Why can't they? If they willing to learn. If they not, then why are you here on earth? You're supposed to be continuing to grow. If you just stagnant and you don't want to learn nothing, nobody can't tell you nothing, this and that, then why are you here? This is earth school. You're supposed to be constantly learning about yourself and learning how to love yourself and love others. So that was something that you didn't do, is never stop learning. Always being open to learn. That's why I said it's times where you're the student and it's times when you're the teacher. And you have to know when. You let them throw dirt on you, dirt on your name, your character, your flaws, everything about you. They threw dirt on it. And what you do? Man, you laid in that dirt and you grew. They thought they buried you. They thought it was over for you. They said it's over. I done got her. I done got him. I done talked about his character, something that he can't even deny because nobody will believe him anyway. Ha, that's what they get. This is and that. It's over. They gonna want to kill themselves. They gonna want to hurt themselves when I tell people this stuff about them. When I lie on their name. When I accuse them of stuff that they didn't do. When I tell people that they a whore. They this and that. And you just steady grew. You steady grew in that dirt that they threw on you. So I just want to, just say you guys are beautiful people. I want to say that, they really looking at you like, what is so special about you? Why is there a glow about you? Why does everybody gravitate to you? Why does everybody want to talk to you, want to be next to you, why is everybody looking at you as somebody that they should want to, lace up their bootstraps, impress, this is that? It's just you, baby. It's the decisions that you chose to make for yourself. It's the listening to your inner self. It's the listening to the Most High. Obeying the Most High. It is your glow about you. It's your energy. The fact that all this bad happened to you and you didn't make it, you didn't do what other people did to you. It's the fact that you might have been a victim at one point in time, but you chose to grow from being a victim to a victor. It's so many things that's good about you, and that's the reason why people are looking at you. That's the reason why people are trying to figure you out. That's the reason why people are trying to be you, but they want to know why they can't be you. Why can't they copy you? They tried. Oh, they'll dress like you. Oh, they'll get a body like yours. Any little thing, they think all that stuff, that ain't got nothing to do with your essence. They ain't got nothing to do with your energy. It's just you being you and you being chosen by the Most High. That's something that can't be copied. You're original. You can't be copied. So I just brought these messages because I think about how, people always looked at me like, what's so special about you? Or why this guy like you? Or why they always asking you questions? Or why they always asking you for advice? It's my wisdom. It's your wisdom. It's your essence. It's the fact that you're pure. That you wouldn't try to harm nobody unless they tried to harm you. If it's a choice where somebody back you in a corner and they trying to kill you, you're going to have to take them out before they take you out. But other than that, you stay in your own lane. You don't bother nobody. You out here giving people wisdom. You're not trying to give people bad advice on purpose. You know what I mean? People try to give me bad advice on purpose. So you didn't do what other people did. You didn't follow, the blind leading the blind. You didn't let them just take you off a cliff. You chose to go it your own way. You chose to be yourself. You chose to be a leader. And people can't stand that because you a leader. They want to know what's in your sauce. What's in your recipe? What's your recipe? What's so special about you? Something that they ain't never gonna figure out. Something that they can't buy. Money can't buy this. Money can't buy this. You're original. You can't be bought. You can't be copied. They can try. They can do it all they want to. But it's in you. It's not on you. It's in you. And what's inside of you is what shows on the outside of you. So, I just had to bring this message because I encounter this everywhere I go. So I know y'all do. I know y'all do. Just being your own self, minding your own darn business ain't bothering nobody. And people want to know why you are the way you are, why you get who you can get, why you get the praise that you get. They worried about them, they worried about you more than they worried about themselves. Let them keep wondering. Let them keep pondering. Let them keep trying to copy. Let them keep trying to ruin your name. And the whole time they don't know that they are blessing you. You put my name out there. You keeping me hot. You keeping me popping by even putting my name in your mouth. Every time. And I would tell them every time you talk bad about me, God is lifting me up. You giving me more blessings. You giving me my energy and my power back. Your haters is your elevators. They elevating you to help elevating you to the top. They keeping your name hot. They keeping your name popping. Because if you wasn't popping, then why they even talking about you? If you're not somebody to be, copy, or anything, why they got your name in their mouth? Why are you the topic of conversation? Why they lying on you? That's when I knew I was the ish. And that's when you should know you the ish. When everybody talking about you, when they teamed up on you, they try to jump you spiritually. They try to jump you psychologically. Psychological warfare, spiritual warfare. When they try to just all band together and come against you, you one strong bad mama jamma or bad brother out here. It's taking all those people to try to take you down and they still didn't. You still here? They didn't take you out? So that's something in itself for you to be thinking the Most High of. You are a strong person and they can't just take you out by themselves. They need a whole team of people to help them. So I wanted to bring this message. I just feel so good. I just feel so good. That you kept going, that you got that fight spirit about you. Continue to go. Continue to keep going. Continue to grow. Continue to keep elevating. And don't worry about what these people are saying about you. Let them worry about it. Let them keep paying attention to you. They paying attention to you. Let them keep paying for it. Okay? So I just wanted to bring